Welcome to the Sisters Cooking Show, where we are connecting from Australia to Madrid, as we do during COVID times. And we today are cooking for Meatless Monday, a whole roasted cauliflower with tahini sauce and herb salad. Laura?
So first of all, we're going to start with the cauliflower because that takes the longest time. So right now we have in our tray, lined with a baking sheet, we have our whole cauliflower. Now I've only trimmed off the larger leaves. However, the soft, tender leaves from the inside, the small ones, we can leave them on. They are absolutely delicious. What I have done though, is I have put this cauliflower first in a pot of boiling water, a large pot enough to fill the entire cauliflower with salt as well. So you want to season the water to make it taste kind of like the ocean. So once you've gotten your water to a boiling point, you gently place your cauliflower in the water, leave it in there for around 5 minutes or so, depending on the size of your cauliflower. You don't want it to cook all the way through, but you do want to get a little bit of heat through it so that it doesn't then burn in the oven before it cooks all the way through. So once you've left your cauliflower in the water for about that 5-minute period, take it out, let it drain, and place it in your baking tray, as we have here. And we're going to season it with a mixture that I have made here of cumin, salt, and olive oil. The exact measurements will be provided to you by the recipe. But anyway, so we can use a pastry brush, or we can take a piece of paper towel, as my sister's doing, because she doesn't have a pastry brush. There she goes, grabbing the paper towel.
Laura is doing the advanced version. I am doing the adapted version.
So you can pour the mixture onto the cauliflower and brush it all over. So you get all that cumin, olive oil, there's a little bit of sea salt in here, and just get that going all throughout. That's going to flavor this. So this is going to have a bit of a Middle Eastern feel to it, the whole dish. And there we go. Once you have everything coated, I'm going to kind of drizzle that over. Once you have everything coated, your cauliflower should look pretty brown and glossy with all of your olive oil. And make sure you get into the little crevices. You get those leaves, which are absolutely delicious. And we are ready to go into the oven. So as soon as Christina's ready.
Ready.
Ready? Beautiful. Okay. So we have our prepped cauliflower. It's going to go into an oven that I have preheated at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. In we go. And we can set a timer for around 45 minutes. Check that. You just basically want the cauliflower to come out just tender, and it's going to be all roasted and delicious on top. Okay?
Perfect. While the cauliflower is roasting, we're going to move on to step 2, which is the tahini sauce.
Okay, so for your tahini sauce, you're going to need a large mixing bowl, a wooden spoon or hard spatula, and you're going to need a cup of tahini, juice of 2 lemons, 1 garlic clove grated, and we are also going to need some cumin. We're going to use approximately 1 tablespoon of cumin, okay? And some salt, of course. We always season to taste. So let's go in with our tahini. So again, 1 cup of tahini. Now this cauliflower recipe feeds anywhere between 4 to 6 people, depending on how large your cauliflower is. Okay, so there we have our 1 cup of tahini. We're going to add to that our grated garlic. And we're going to add to that as well our lemon juice. Okay. Now, let's go ahead as well with our tablespoon of ground cumin. Sprinkle that. Let's give that a mix. We're going to season it with salt afterwards. Okay, so as you're mixing it, you're going to notice that the lemon juice is going to have a very odd reaction with the tahini, and it's actually going to get thicker instead of looser. So in order to get the desired consistency that we want and to kind of mellow those flavors out a little bit, we're gonna slowly pour some water into this gradually. So I'm gonna use approximately half a cup of water. So I'm gonna just put a little bit in, okay, and get that going, just so we don't want any lumps. So if we do it all at once, we're gonna end up with lumps. So you see how the water immediately, the color's starting to change, okay? And it's starting to get a lot lighter and a little bit easier to mix. So we're gonna go ahead with a little bit more water. So if you like a thicker sauce, you're welcome to do it just with the half a cup of water. And it's like this consistency, so it's just a little bit thicker. I actually prefer it a little bit thinner, so I'm gonna get a little bit more water. So now we're gonna season with a little bit of salt, okay? So I'm gonna start with 1 teaspoon of salt, give that a mix, taste it, and see if we need to add a little bit more. We probably will. I'm gonna go ahead and assume we're gonna need around 2 teaspoons. I tend to go on the salty side.
Runs in the family.
Sure. All right, so let's give that a taste. Oh, it's perfect to me. Beautiful. So now we can set this aside and wait for our cauliflower to finish cooking.
So now we move on to step number 3, the salad dressing.
Beautiful. So I am going to be making a sumac and lemon dressing. Unfortunately, Christina couldn't find sumac at the market. It is a kind of strange ingredient to come across in certain places. If you can find it, however, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It is this lovely spice here. It's kind of deep red and really absolutely gorgeous. It smells very citrusy, a little bit florally. It's an absolutely delicious spice to use. I use it in a lot of dressings or even sprinkled on different Middle Eastern plates. It's just really yum and actually really good with kangaroo. I know it's Meatless Monday, but if you're in Australia, it is absolutely delicious. But anyway, let's continue with the vegetables. So for this, we're going to need a large bowl, a whisk, some sumac. So I have a 1/4 cup of sumac. I also have juice zested 4 lemons, and I have 1 garlic clove grated as well. And then we're going to have some salt and some olive oil on hand, okay? So let's go ahead with our sumac. For me, my sister does not have the sumac. It is absolutely fine to have it without. It's just a delicious lemon dressing if not. So we're going to go in with our lemon juice, zest, and garlic. And we are going to add salt to taste. I'm going to go ahead and say, let's do about a teaspoon of salt in this, and we can adjust seasoning afterwards. Now we're going to drizzle gradually. So give that a bit of a mix in your bowl and drizzle gradually approximately half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. Okay. So go in with this.
Perfect.
And so you have this like kind of deep brick red with the sumac, and it's going to have all that lemon flavor. So let's give that a taste, see if it needs any more salt.
It's delicious even without the
All right, let's give that a go. Beautiful.
So step 4, we almost have the cauliflower ready. So we are going to do the herb topping for the cauliflower and then take it up. Lauris.
So for our herb topping, it's pretty much mostly parsley. So it's going to be flat leaf parsley. We're going to use about half a cup. We're going to do zest of 1 lemon, grated 1 clove of garlic, and about a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm just gonna, so I've had all this ready in my little bowl here. And then I'm going to put in approximately 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. You want it to be more herby than oily. We're just kind of getting everything a little bit wet so that it can spread evenly and be distributed nicely on top of our cauliflower. All right, so it should look similar to this. we're gonna take our cauliflower out and then we're gonna put all these fresh herbs and lemon zest and garlic on top of the cauliflower, and that's just gonna seep into everything, perfume it. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. Okay, are you ready, Christina?
Vamos, dale.
Let's do it. Here we go, let's turn our oven off. And there she is. All golden brown, beautiful, nice and tender on the inside. That's exactly what we want.
Perfect.
Now, important to do this while it's hot. So that's why we made this first. So you're just gonna kind of spread that around and top it. And as the oil hits the hot cauliflower, you're gonna be able to smell all of those beautiful herbs. Just kind of get it into the crevices as much as you can. That smells awesome. A little less, Christina.
A little less?
Do you see how mine is?
I like it.
So she didn't weigh out her parsley or measure out her parsley.
I like parsley.
But anyway, all right. So if you like parsley, put more. If not, put less. It's up to you. There's no rules.
So for step number 5, we're going to start working on the salad and plating it.
Okay, so herb salad. Obviously, there's going to be herbs in it. So I have here a mixture that I have picked of fresh flat leaf parsley, dill, and mint. Now you can use a mixture of different herbs that you like. I find this combination of herbs works really well for Middle Eastern dishes, but really it's up to you. Now I don't mind having the thin stems on my parsley and my dill. For this salad, you do kind of want the leaves to be as whole as possible because they are making up the bulk of your salad. So this is like your lettuce in your salad. Now I am adding to that a few bits of cause lettuce, again, leaving them whole. So we're gonna put in some of our cause lettuce. We can pick out some of our nicer inner leaves here. The leaves from the inside of the cause, and the same for radicchio, which I will talk about later or in a minute. They're much more tender the more you get inside the actual lettuce. The ones outside are a bit more rough. They're still delicious, but you want to try and get a good balance of both. So we're going to put a few of those leaves in, and then we're going to take our radicchio leaves. I've also just picked the radicchio leaves and left them as whole as possible. So you can tear them up in half like this if you would like. You can leave them in whole, especially if they're smaller leaves. You can leave them whole like this. Really, it's just up to you how you want to present the salad. So I tend to like the salad to look a little bit chunky. We can then build it up and make it look absolutely stunning on the plate. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. So all of this has already been picked and washed thoroughly. Then the other thing we're going to add is thinly sliced red onion. You can slice it in thin strips like I have here, or you can slice it in little rounds. It's whatever you prefer, but try and get it as thin as possible. You are eating raw onion into the salad, so the thinner the better. So let's go ahead and sprinkle a few of those. You don't want to put too much. You don't want to overpower all the other flavors. Red onion is quite a strong flavor. So you want to just put in a few bits and pieces. So once you've gotten all your elements here, we're going to drizzle some of our dressing. We don't actually want to use the full amount of the dressing. We're just going to use a little bit. That dressing keeps for a long time in the fridge anyway, so absolutely delicious. So you drizzle in a little bit of that dressing. You don't want to overdress it. You don't want it to be heavy. You just kind of want it to be flavored. And then let's go ahead and toss our ingredients. There is no better tool to toss your salad than using your freshly COVID safe, washed, clean hands. Definitely let me stress that my hands have been thoroughly washed. So I have my serving plate just here. I have all the ingredients for my salad that I have just tossed. And I'm just going to start kind of building things up. Okay, so we can put a few of the larger leaves on the bottom. Okay, and then just start very gently placing your herbs onto the plate. Arrange them how you like, but the idea is to get some of the leaves sticking out. You can use other bits of herb to just kind of prop it up. Again, it's just a bit of a showstopper in terms of the look, because you just have all these different heights and colors and contrasts, which makes it look really appealing. Make any meat you want to eat a salad. Just layer on everything. That's it. So I've obviously made a much larger amount of salad because I have more people to feed. But there we go. That's the salad. And to finish it off, we're going to top it with, I have already picked some pomegranate seeds from a fresh pomegranate. We're not going to use all of them. We're just going to kind of pick and choose how much we want. You can also buy the pomegranate seeds already ready to go, just like Christina has, if you really are pressed for time. So just sprinkle these on. They're going to, it's not just visually really beautiful with pops of color, but it's also really delicious because it gives it a bit more of a burst of sweetness, sour. Pomegranate seeds have lovely acidity to it. So it's just going to add to your salad. So there we go. Our salad is ready and plated. And we can now move on to plating our showstopper, the absolutely gorgeous cauliflower that we have prepared. So let's get another serving plate. All right, and for this, we're going to take some of our beautiful tahini sauce that we have made, and we're just going to pour some of that on the bottom of our dish. As much as you like. Again, this tahini sauce keeps very, very well in the fridge, so you can keep that for later. Now, our perfectly golden roasted cauliflower goes on top. And previously toasted some pine nuts. So we're going to go ahead and sprinkle some pine nuts all over, all around, kind of in between the cauliflower. And then just because I'm a bit chefy, let's just drizzle a little bit of olive oil around, give the cauliflower a bit more shine, and make that plate look stunning. And that's it. So together we have my cauliflower with tahini sauce and my herb salad with sumac dressing.